I'm here at Penn's Creek today. I'm getting in a little bit late. I drove in from my home, so it's about a little after 10 o'clock here. Last time I was here, the cicadas were still out, so I want to start with a cicada fly. I got some other flies with me. I have a fly case. I also have some other tricks up my sleeve if the fish don't appear to be biting on the flies that I have. I have some artificial wormies, so it's maybe not the purest way of fly fishing, but for me, I really like to catch fish, not just kind of burn time, all for being balanced and everything, but I definitely want to see fish. Last time I was here, the fish were just snapping at the cicadas pretty much right away. Had a big one, got off, so I'm excited to see what I can do here today. I got a day and a half of fly fishing and I'm excited. I'm gonna be camping right on the creek. Later today I'll show you my setup. It's all in my car right now, but I got some new gear of a wading staff because last time I almost got swept down the creek a little bit. I just wasn't surprised over how fast and deep this creek could be. So I'm gonna play it safe today. Got my fly rod and plenty of water filter, got some snacks, so I'm looking to have a great time and hopefully get some fish on camera for you. Okay, so I'm on the water. The water is nice and cool. I read the fly fishing report today. Water's about 68 degrees. Feels chilly. Perfect conditions, even though it's about mid-July. And I'm gonna start with my cicada and see if we can do anything with that. This year they said the cicada hatch has been crazy. I'm probably late to it, but I feel like the fish have a good memory for what's been keeping them full. So worst case scenario, I just try my cast a little bit here, see if anything happens, and you know, we just switch it up from there. I see only a few other cars in the parking lot here today, so it's not going to be super busy. I see a few guys right downstream from me, so you know, lots of peaceful fishing, lots of ways to cool the mind, relax, have a good time. I'm all for it. Hopefully, you know, it'll be a productive day too. So far, I've got a few thoughts. One, I think the wading staff makes it easier to walk in these types of streams. If you don't have a wading staff, you're pretty much putting a lot of exertion on the arches of your feet, and that kind of gets painful after a while. This also helps you poke around, see what's ahead of you, without having to feel with it for your feet. So I like the idea of having this staff in unknown waters. We'll definitely do it again. And here it is. As far as fishing so far, I've had no rises or takers. Just getting started, but talking to the guides and the fly shop, they're saying you want to keep moving, do the presentation, hit the water. If it's not working, keep moving, find where the fish are, and you know, it's fly fishing or whatever, it's the name of the game. You gotta find the fish, find what they want to eat, and if something's just not working, there's no point in trying to just beat something dead. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to try and cover a lot of water. So walking on the left side of the creek here, casting to the right, going to move up and down. Ideally, I'd love to cover a couple miles here today. So I'm really curious what the stream's going to look like, and I really would love to get a few bites from some fish. So we're going to try traditional fly fishing first before I try something experimental, which is using my my jigs and my pinched artificial night crawlers to kind of do some nymphing hybrid approach. Talking to the guide who I'll be out with tomorrow, he was saying right now nymphing is the way to go, not so much on the dry flies. But I want to give this a shot here today. Give it a few hours. If it doesn't work, I'm not going to waste my time. But I at least want to see this approach is going to work. I'm all about catching fish, having fun, and really you set your own rules on how you want to do this thing. You don't got to live and fish however someone else wants to tell you to fish. So far, I really like what I see with Penn's Creek. Today the water is clear, it's moving quickly, it's cold. I haven't seen a lot of bugs rising, probably because it's a little bit later in the morning here. And I also don't hear any cicadas buzzing like I did last time about 2 weeks ago. So the cicada bite might be over, but I believe the trout are going to remember what they've been chewing on for weeks and still be hungry if they see a huge old bug come and swim by. So that's a theory we're going to test. Overall, I'm already getting my my heartbeat up here. All this walking, and especially in water upstream with gear on, is some really good exercise. So I was thinking about all sorts of things driving up here, but now all I'm thinking about is walking, casting, and hooking a fish. And that's kind of the magic of fishing, is it shuts everything else off. Oh, I just saw a trout swim by. The trout just swam by and looked at it. The water's so clear, I got glasses on. So that's a good sign. The fish are here. That was kind of cool to be able to see a fish. And then doing my research, people are saying that there's about 3,000 fish per mile of stream in Penn's Creek, which makes it one of the best fisheries in the state. So fish are definitely here. It's just finding the right time, the right bait, the right presentation. And I got 2 days to figure that out, hopefully, and catch a fish. Worst case scenario, I do my spinning equipment. So if this is unproductive, when I get to my campsite later, I can try something else out. As far as the layout of the stream, I like that there's riffles, there's pools, there's different bits of habitat, really not that far from each other. I haven't come across an unfishable stretch yet where it looks like there might be a fish hiding. So I'm really curious to see what this stream looks like the further I go. And I'll turn around at some point. There's a trail that runs along this creek. I'm parked right next to Cherry Lane Road, or Cherry Run Lane, so it's not too hard to find on a map. I did download the map as well, so I can always find my way back. I got plenty of water, food. I got a water straw in case I need a drink from the stream later, which will be a first for me. I'm saying it's probably because it's kind of warm out today. Overall, just looking forward to a really cool day. Okay, I'm hooked up with my very first trout here, and he just got off. Oh my God. I just had a trout come up on cicada, and he nailed it. I was trying to get the camera up, and he just got off. But that was really exciting. Good news is the fish are here, they're still hungry. Man, these, I really wanted to get that fish. He came up, he just slammed it. So that's exciting to know the cicada lure can still work. I just chalk it up to my inexperience here, not being able to reel that fish in. But it's good to know there's still plenty of fish to be had. Boy, that was exciting. So part of my journey here today is trying to figure out if you can catch trout without a guide, and kind of by teaching yourself, you know, from watching videos and everything. And last time I came here, I had a whole bunch of bites. I had one on the hook, got off. I just had one here on the hook, took it down, got off. So I think the answer is still yes. I'm sure I'm missing a lot of fish along the way, but boy, that was really exciting. I just really wish I can get a fish out of the water. I'll keep you tuned. This here appears to be a really good spot. You got two branches of the creek that comes in, forms this deep trench here. And talking to someone else, they say they caught 2 trout here earlier today. But this is the perfect kind of setup. You got things floating down the creek, you got the aeration going for them. I just had a bite, had the trout on the line, couldn't reel them in. But I think the situation here should be ideal. Boy, I would just really like to get another trout on that hook. I just saw a trout rising in this current a couple of times. So I'm hoping if I put myself into the same situation, he'll pick up my fly. It's good to know that the fish are still here, they're still biting. I'm excited. I feel lucky today. I think this is a really sweet spot right here. And This, places like this make me think and remember a line where someone goes, trout only live in beautiful places, right? There goes a trout right there. Trout are going to want to live where it's pristine, where the water's clear, where there's lots of food to eat, and that's what you got to look for. So the more beautiful a spot and a setup that you can put yourself on, I think the more trout you can catch. Usually the best spots I've come across are ones with the least amount of people as well. I think if you try and go where everyone else is, where it's crowded, where it's too much like a city, you're gonna have a tougher time fishing. And worse, I think it just stresses you out more. If you want to escape from all that, you don't want to put yourself back in it. So look for places that look like this, and you're gonna have yourself a good trout fishing day. The good news here today is I still can hear cicadas in the woods. So that's a positive sign for me trying the cicada bite. I already had one taker. I already saw another trout follow it. So I feel like it's not too late. It's probably at the very, very end of the bite, but I don't think I'll be wasting my time. Talking to a few other folks I've seen here today, they're saying they haven't done too well here today. So they're trying different tactics and lures, and they have more experience, and they still didn't catch many fish. So it might not be a problem with my bait and my presentation. It just could just be a weird day. Even back home at some of my favorite spots, I'm surprised to go and get skunked sometimes, but that's just how it is. You're not going to go out and have your best day every day. But the main thing I want to kind of pick up and practice here today is exploring a new place, practicing my cast, practice reading the water better, and I think I'm going to have a great time doing all of that. I don't think there's any downsides here. The weather's beautiful. I say it's about 80 degrees, not too humid. Up in the mountains of Penn's Creek, so it's definitely cooler. It just feels like it's going to be a good day to be out here. And the alternative is definitely better than going to work. So I got Friday, I got Saturday. I'm going to put meat on some trout, I am hoping, as long as I don't keep snagging myself. So we shall see. It's really easy to see why Penn's Creek has such a world-class reputation. It's just the water looks amazing everywhere. So I'm going from a small split, the stream where there's ripples, it drops into a deep pool. Right now I'm right next to another deep pool. You just imagine the trout, whatever trout you're after is easily hiding in here. The water's super clear, there's lots of rocks, lots of places for bugs to hide, for fish to hide. That's what makes this exciting. Back home, usually do a lot of walking to find a pocket here and there, and it's kind of middling, right? There's not tons of fish everywhere. But here, you can imagine, fish are living freely, they're eating well, and you get to enjoy the beauty of Pennsylvania while you try and hook one. So to me, I'm starting to see what people are saying this creek is all about. I really am in awe about how clean and healthy this creek looks. I also keep seeing a whole bunch of crayfish scooting themselves out of the way. So lots of food for trout to eat. Clear creek, healthy creek, lots of stones, lots of cover. I just need some more fish to come my way, and it'll be a perfect day here. But so far, really, I got no complaints. Can't beat a day like this. And hopefully I'll get to show you more of this creek and some of its hunting holes once I find them. I just missed a bite on the cicada. So I saw a trout rising, and I put it over right where I saw the fish, and then he came up and tried to slurp it. So let's see if we can try and get him again. Ah, that's exciting. Definitely fish in here. Although I'm not seeing as many risers as I was hoping to, but I guess that's part of just midday fishing. Ah, man, I really thought I was going to get that trout. So I'm going to try that presentation again for him. And this section of the creek's pretty cool because it's such a glassy look to it. You can see any sort of activity on top. They kind of hone in where you want to be casting. And that's how I just saw that trout. I'm sure in the morning and evening this place just lights up like a fireworks show. But better than blind casting, you typically want to identify where the trout are and target them. All right, so we've had a couple bites today. We've had a fish on the line today. I had no idea what to expect, but so far I'm having a great time. Even though I'm pretty much a beginner, not a complete beginner, but beginner enough for trout fishing. I think this place is a great way to get started. I think there's enough room to explore. There's enough fish in here to forgive you for any mistakes. I'm having fun. I can't wait to see where the rest of the day is going to take me. I just had another trout bite on the cicada. The trout came up and try and grab it, but he just couldn't get the bite on. He missed it. I was just about to put the camera on to say, so far I'm pretty surprised about the lack of bites here, because half the creek is this deep, beautiful run with lots of cover. And you know, it should be trout central. So I'm really pleased I keep getting trout bites. But that one, the trout just happened to miss the hook. There's nothing I could do there. The one weird thing about this creek is I'm not seeing a ton of trout in the water. I've been to other places. You know, you can see the trout hiding and you do your sight fishing. But here, I don't know if the trout are super good at hiding or something else, but I'm just not seeing fish. Sometimes, you know, you see them spooked and they run. I was thinking for the amount of fish they say are in this water. Oh, here comes a trout. I see a trout. Is he gonna bite? It's kind of cool. You can see trout. You know, now I'm saying that there's no trout in here. He comes up, take a look at my lure. But overall, I'm just not seeing piles of fish swimming by. A little bit weird. Maybe they're hiding in the deep pools. Who knows? But just my observation. What I like so far about this section of the creek is that it's well maintained and that there's a really nice trail that runs alongside it. So once I got to a point where I was kind of fished out for a little bit, I need to go set up my camp and everything, I can just walk pretty easily back to where I started. I can take a look at the creek along the way, see if there's any fish rising, anything I want to stop and try and fish again. There's one more spot I definitely want to hit again. It's where I hooked that trout that got off, and then I had another bite. So really, this is a solid place to come and fish, test your skills, and just have fun. Like, I've seen very, very few people out here, which makes this even more enjoyable. So I'm back near where I caught that, or almost caught that trout earlier, got off. And I want to try the cicada again. If nothing happens with cicada, I'm going to try a little experiment and try putting a jig on this and sinking it to the bottom with some action to see if that helps get the trout out. For me, the jig has been a really great combo this year. You know, a lot of people are telling me right now, if you want to catch trout, you got to go nymphing. So that's what I'm doing tomorrow. But I think, why don't we try to replicate the nymph with the jig, the fly rod, and it's going to be kind of cool to see if it works or if it's a failed experiment. And since I'm kind of headed back to the car anyway, I don't think I have anything to lose by trying it. But I'm going to try fishing this normal style first, and then I'm going to hit it with the jig to see what happens. Okay, so update on my genius idea. So I put a jig on, casted it in. First thing I did was get a snag. It appears I have another snag right away, and that's a little bit frustrating. I know there's a lot of rocks in here, but there we go. So maybe I'm going to, thought this would be a little bit more successful. I'm going to try it again. I'm kind of curious how people with nymphs don't get stuck all the time, if I'm getting stuck twice. So maybe I'll put another, let's see how that plays downstream. But theoretically it should work, right? If it works for the casting's a little bit screwed. So when you have something a little bit heavier on your line, the fly casting definitely does not work as it should. So that's kind of interesting. That's why I call it an experiment here. But I guess the real experiment is, does it catch fish? I don't know. I'm going to try it one more time upstream with a bit of artificial worm on again. This time I'm going to use it to cover the hook really, so I reduce my chances of snagging. Again, this is not a probably great idea, but it's something I was thinking about. And while I'm here and while I have the lures, might as well before I hit the car again. So I'm sure a lot of fishing purists will have something to say about this technique, but you know, it's fishing, trying to catch a fish. I'm back. I took a little break and I went to my campsite, and I'm gonna try and just kill a little bit of time before the evening fly fishing I do. So I brought my spinner rod, and one of the things I want to test to see is trout will bite on these flicker shads that I keep seeing pop up. I had a friend the other day who had a variant, not the same one, but a variant of this lure, and he did pretty well with it. So I'm curious, in this still water, can I get trout to find and bite? I've never used these before, and what's interesting is that these lures have little scent pockets in them, which to me kind of feels like a gimmick, but who knows if it works. I put a little bit of scent bait in there. So we're going to try these lures out. There's a bit of still water between this and upstream, so I'm going to give it a shot, see what we can catch out of here. I'm hoping for trout. This can also attract bass, big old sunfish too. I'm watching the way it moves in the water. Looks good. Looks like an injured fish getting out of the way. So we're going to work the banks up, across, and back down the campsite today. And I'm camping right on Penn's Creek. This evening I'm planning to go up more towards Pope Hattie Park or towards Coburn. That's where I hear the fish are doing really well. So I'm going to fish here for about an hour and then get back on the road and get back on my fly fishing game. But it's nice to be able to do both. I'm not really a purist. I'm out here to have fun, relax, and catch fish. And oh, we got something. A little bass. When you imagine that. So, quick answer, does this catch fish? It has caught a fish. So yes, it works. Not the fish I'm after, of course, or the biggest fish I'm not after, but a fish. So this water looks pretty good. I'm also curious to see if I'm going to find any fish rising, but I'm going to work it pretty well, the best I can, and I'll see what I can pop out of here for you. So I was saying earlier, there's a ton of crayfish in this creek, and I just found a nice fresh dead one. And this is just a really good sign of how healthy and fresh this creek is. Tons of bugs, tons of wildlife, tons of everything, super clean. And that makes for such a rewarding experience. You got to find the diversity to find your target fish. A lot of times they can throw a trout into a crap little pond or a stream. It's not going to live very long. It's just not a great experience. But if, you know, the trout actually goes where it belongs, it's just a win-win for everybody. So I love to see that. I'm falling in the water here. So back to using this flicker shad bait. I think it's really smooth. Even though there's a whole bunch of rocks in this creek, I haven't snagged in the bottom once. It's got a great little motion to it. Bounces off rocks, looks like the real deal. Caught one little tiny bass. Hoping there's more fish in here. The water's nice and cool. So it's I think it's the perfect rig to be using here. I'm able to get a lot of good distance on a cast too. So I'm doing some jigging, some straight retrieves, trying to see if I can get a trout out of here. That'd be awesome. Really boost my confidence. But I think this is pretty cool. I definitely would use this again based on my limited experience here. And you can see it. It's bring it a little closer actually. It's got a shake to it. It's got a lip. It's got 2 treble hooks. I thought it'd be a little too big and keep snagging on stuff, but that is not the case. So I'm really hoping next time I turn this camera on, I'm gonna have a big old fish for you. I'm here in Coburn, Pennsylvania, right next to the Penn's Creek, and I'm excited to try my spinner rod tonight. I'm gonna be doing different spinners I have, different fly spinners, even some jigging. The name of the game is catching some trout. I was on Penn's Creek earlier, had some trout on, they got off, had some great bites, didn't land them. So I'm feeling really trouty right now. And I'd love to be able to show you pictures and videos of all the good stuff happening. There's a fly shop here in town called the Feathered Hook, I believe. So whenever there's a fly shop, you know the fishing has got to be good. So I'm excited to get in here, try it out, see what's what. Tomorrow I have a guide. I'll be doing some fishing another section of the creek. So I'm really interested to see how different sections of the stream fish, what I can recommend back to you, and then give you my overall recommendation on whether Penn's Creek is worth checking out. So stick with me. I got a bite. I got a bite on the spinner. I think it's a bass. Holy shit, it's a trout. It's a trout. I got a trout on Penn's Creek here. Oh, and he's off. Okay. I think you saw him. It was a rainbow trout. Really excited. I just started fishing. Using the spinner pretty much to cover wide swaths of the creek since I'm unfamiliar here and snagged on something. And right away, pretty much first couple of casts, I got a bite. So I'm actually liking this spinner so far. This is the I think it's a Rapala, but it's a little spinner that bobs and weaves, that cuts across the stream. So 1 trout on. I'm going to call that as a keeper. I'm obviously putting all the trout back this time of year. I want to stress the fish out, and I have enough in my freezer that I've been eating. But really good sign. Fish on, baby. course, I didn't remember my wading staff today. I left it in the car. So I'm gonna try to stick close to the shore. As I said earlier, I'm liking this lure right now because it seems to not really snag on too much. It's caught me one trout, it's got me a couple bass here today. And of course I said I snag on something else. Okay, feeling fishy. There are fish in Penn's Creek. Newsflash. The water here is really great conditions. Just like elsewhere I noticed, there's clear water, cold water, deep pockets. It's everything you could really hope for. So I'm hoping I can catch some more of those trout I just got and work this stream across. I want to work it down, and maybe later if there's time I'll try and work it up. My plan is do some spinner fishing, wait until the trout start to rise and eat later, and switch over to fly fishing. So I'm all about doing what works, and that's what I recommend for folks. Don't get tied down to one method or anything. Be going to catch fish, go catch fish. Okay, we got another bit of action here. Holy shit, it's another trout. 2 trout in really a short distance. I'm liking this lure. I really had no idea what to expect. Oh, there he's gone. But as far as getting fish, come on, man. You can't beat this. I don't know if it's the rattle or the look or the play it's doing, but I don't know. It's working. That's what I can tell you. 2 fish on, this thing's working. It's got a great action to it, and the weight of it lets you cast really far, but it doesn't feel heavy, if that makes any sense. So, oh, I'm fishing pretty much down as I'm walking downstream. Sometimes it can be tricky. That's why I need wading staff there, pals. Sometimes it can be tricky to walk and fish downstream. So this allows me to cut across the stream as I walk and really not lose anything in the process. So I'm pretty happy with the co-burn so far. 2 trout on. I'm expecting to get more out of here. This is good. Where there's 2 trout, there's often more. Whew. And this time of year is, you don't know what to expect really and where. But you guys, like I said, put yourself in the right place, the right time, the right lure. And of course, where the fish are, and you'll do okay. And since it's yellow, I can watch this thing pretty much swim across the creek. It's like darting and going to the side. Really great action to it. Floating on the top of the water here. I don't know what happened to it, but I want to see if I can get to him. If he's dead, he's not doing well, hell, I'll eat him. Unless I want to go to waste. That was like a creek chub. I don't know. Let's see if I can get some without getting hurt. It's that skinned away from fish. If you can do something about it, you do. The current got him. Oh, I hate that. I hate seeing wasted fish. I hate when it happens to me. I hate when other people do it. Oh, damn. I really tried to get that fish. Oh, all right, back to fishing. So far, what I like about Coburn along Penn Creek here is that it's right next to the road, unless you can see the road on the camera. And what that means is easy to make loops. That's what I'm planning on doing. I'm trying to walk down the creek. At some point I'll get out, walk my car, maybe try a different section. And it's making it super accessible to find a good looking spot while having to walk the damn creek up and down yourself like through a forest. And so far, I like the amount of cover I'm seeing, the amount of rocks. It looks good. It looks really good. And this is the confluence of about 3 different creeks. I think like Elk Creek, Penn Creek, and there's another one, maybe Pine Creek. But everything comes together here, and that's where Penn's Creek really starts to get big and the water starts to move. So I saw a bridge in town where it looks like it's super easy for them to dump trout in right off there into the water for the stockings. So that's what you're looking for, you know. Easy places to put trout, for trout to live, people to catch trout. Fly shop, good sign. I'm liking Coburn. Coburn seems to be fishy. I got 2 trout so far. Really nothing to not like so far. If I figure out anything, I'll let you know. I'm also seeing a lot of really good algae and seaweed here in the creek. So that means bait fish and crawfish can hide really well and feed the trout. Some places are desolate, it's just rocks. That is not the case here. And the water's nice and cool and cold. Haven't really come across deep pockets yet. You know, I've come across a couple spots in the channel that might be 3 or so feet deep. But I'm looking for more, I like pools and pockets, more deep channels. That's where I'm trying to catch a bigger trout today. So we're gonna see if that materializes or not. As you can see, this part of the creek, just like the others, is very beautiful. Up here in the mountains, in a valley, can't beat this. In a pristine creek, even if you catch nothing, it's still worth the experience. Water, peace, solidarity, those are things that help you find balance in your life. Definitely helped me. Worst case scenario, you go for a nice walk in the water. Can't beat it. The fish are just a bonus. I think a lot of people get intimidated because they don't catch fish, and that shouldn't be the point. That's why, you know, the old joke goes, it's called fishing, not catching, for a reason. You've got to go fishing enough times to get good to catch. And I'm sure if you've watched some of my videos, you'll see that I don't clean up every time. I don't do everything right. Fish get off. I make mistakes, but I still get out here and have fun, and that's what I'm trying to promote. Go outside, enjoy it, explore, try and catch a fish. You'll thank me later. I'd probably have walked a quarter to a half mile down the creek at this point. Other than the 2 trout I've caught initially, a lot of the water has just been too flat and shallow. There hasn't been too much to create channels or deep sections where fish will hide. Maybe this is a section of the creek that does better in the very cold part of the year with fly fishing equipment. You know, when they freshly stock it. That's kind of my hypothesis right now in this section. I want to keep walking for a bit and see what I find. But right now, I just keep catching weeds on the bottom, and it's just nothing. There's just nothing really to latch on to here. So initially, there's good channels, good cover. I'm still liking the creek, don't get me wrong, but if you're trying to spin fish, there's not much here to get excited about at this moment. So I decided I want to get out of here, but I'm a little bit away from the road. I could hear cars on it not long ago, but one of the things I learned a while ago is that if you're in an unfamiliar area, what you want to do is download the Google Maps ahead of time for the range you're going to be in. So for me, I can see clearly where I'm at, where the road's at, and I'm following a deer trail right now to keep the walking pretty easy. And for me, I found that keeps getting lost really a non-factor. It might take me a little bit to find the road, but I have confidence in which direction to go and that it's there. You know, if I didn't have this, I could have thought the road was going straight and could have veered off, and I could just be trudging through a mountain for half the night. And that's something you absolutely don't want. You want to be able to take care of yourself, make sure there's no animals near you. You want to make sure too that you have enough supplies on you in case you do get lost. So for me, I always keep a backpack full of water. I have snacks, I have a knife, I have flashlights, neckerchiefs, among a few other items. So I know even if something goes very wrong, I won't be in a life and death situation. That's the worst thing that could happen. You know, you're enjoying yourself fishing and then all of a sudden you're in some mini crisis. So if you go fishing, especially if you're walking along creeks like I am, bring yourself a nice backpack. Bonus points if it's waterproof. Mine's not waterproof. Bring lots of water and you'll do okay. And there's the road right there. So no reason to panic. I'm at my final destination for the day, Poe Patty State Park. I was here 2 weekends ago, and the water was absolutely boiling with fish once it got to the evening, and we just weren't really equipped to fly fish. My friend didn't have a rod, I didn't have my flies, but today I'm gonna make a go at it. I'm here about 6:30. The water's nice, cool, clear, so I'm really hoping to land a trout. I'm gonna be patient as the night wears on and to bring a fish in. I'm super excited to see what we can get out of here. I know I've scoped this out before, so it's not a new area, so I feel pretty confident the fish are going to be here. It's just a matter of seeing if everything can come together. If not, you know, it's 3 different spots on Penn's Creek in one day. It's a lot of adventure, a lot of fishing. I've had a good time, and I wish to get some more trout. I just seen 3 different trout here rise within 5 minutes, so I'm feeling good. I got a couple different flies to try out. Name of the game is just being here. The fish are rising, that's a great sign. I have a fly on right now, I forget exactly what his name is, but I did some research to see what hatches are going on right now, and it is one of the ones on the list. So, you know, I did my homework. I just need the fish to come out and play. I'm fishing this cover here into this tree, which fish always seem to love. So the darker it gets, the better it'll get. And I'm hoping we can get a couple fish on the line. The fish are starting to rise. What I've noticed is that they appear to be going after these yellowish looking, I would say small to mid-size bugs. I'm guessing they're called sulfurs. I saw the sulfur hatches on, and they kind of look like the color of sulfur. And they've been coming up. Every couple of minutes you see one fly away. I'm starting to notice the trout popping up. Right now I think I have a mayfly on. I don't know if I have any sulfurs on me. But it's just interesting to sit here and look around and observe. That's part of the real beauty about fishing. You're not actively trying to catch the fish. You're trying to observe your environment, understand your environment. You have to understand yourself. And even better, in spots like this, there's absolutely no cell service whatsoever. So you can't distract yourself. You have to be in the moment. You're allowed to let yourself wander off in your thoughts and really process things in ways you can't at home. When you're home, everything's like a distraction. But you come out to beautiful places like this, in Popatty Park, and just feel so much different. You feel alive. So, get out here. The trout are starting to get more and more active. They're getting rowdy. I'm really hoping they're going to like what I send their way. There's a couple trout in here pretty close where I'm casting right now. I'm seeing them actually all up the stream right now, surfacing and biting. So it's a good sign. I think the time is here. Time to make something happen. They're really jumping everywhere. I'm trying to get to this rock in the middle of the stream so I get a better casting angle. A couple different directions. Really want to catch a trout today. But it's really, like I said, beautiful to watch the whole thing in action. Even if I don't catch a fish, it's worth it every second. Hopefully we can get some jumps and fish on camera too. Jumping and... Oh, is that something? No. Good current here, good cover. I just need to, I guess, match the hatch or get lucky, something. The elements are falling into place. Here's a picture of the little guys that are coming off the water. Pretty cool, huh? Off you go.